Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I am plumbobd, and today we are building a starter home for our Sequoia rebuild series. Sequoia, in case you didn't know, is the new world that came with the latest expansion pack, which is The Sims 4 Growing Together. And we are building a starter home because I needed a little bit of a break, okay? So last time we built a rec center, which is a 64 by 64 lot in the world of Sequoia also, and besides taking a long time because it's very big, 64 by 64 is a very big lot size. I filled it with activities, so my game started lagging while building that lot, so I really needed a break. I needed simple build, a quick build to pull top together, and I honestly didn't want the budget challenge initially, but if I didn't have the budget challenge, I would have probably spent longer on this build, so that's fine. So this is kind of a A-frame starter home, built in an industrial style. Now A-frame homes typically tend to be like fully A-frames, like it's a triangle, completely a triangle. It's a roof on both sides. That's how you usually do it in The Sims, but I wanted a little bit of a different shape, so I went for this style of house that I'm gonna show you on screen now, which was my inspiration. So it's more of a cabin in the woods, but I made it fit with Sequoia. I feel like it's very dark, it's very moody, but I do like the style a lot. I wish I could have made it a little bit more detailed in some points, but I couldn't because of the budget constraints, and also I wanted to go for a specific style, so I did go for some more expensive items. For example, the kitchen from Snow Escape is not necessarily the cheapest kitchen you have, and also for a long time I kept also the stove from Snow Escape as well, and also I've used like some other expensive items, so the cost added up really quickly, and I had to delete some items, also change some items for more cheaper versions, but I feel like the style eventually came out together really nicely. Also, I wanted to portray some of the details that were in the inspo pic. For example, now I'm placing this wall decor from Perfect Patio Stuff, which I usually never use. I never liked it ever, but in this case fit really well because we had a stack of wood logs, which we do have in The Sims for Get Together, but it's very low to the ground and not in the style I wanted. And also we have another one in Werewolves, but the one in Werewolves is one that's supposed to be beside a fireplace, so I feel like that came really handy, but I probably will never ever use it again. So first and last time I used that item. Also, I noticed that, I don't know if this is a new glitch or if my game got this new glitch recently. Well, first, I always had that glitch in which when you enter a lot in build mode and it's technically morning, you actually have light that's supposed to be at night. I don't know why that bug happens and it's still in my game. I don't even know if it's if it's a bug or if it's supposed to be that way. But honestly, I never liked it, but I just type L and move on with the next phase of the day and go back to the morning or whatever phase I like, and the light usually fixes itself. But this time, this new bug I have is it's a one that has to do with foundation. Apparently, every time I change something in the in the fencing around the house, or if I change the stairs, my foundation would glitch and it would become all one foundation. For example, you see here in this case I had the patio on stilted foundations and the rest of the house on concrete, rocks, stone, whatever it is. But it kept glitching for some weird reason. I don't really know. But besides these glitches, I think this build went quite smoothly. We are now furnishing the outside patio. I tried that. Now this part is probably one that's very detailed, because I decided not to look after the budget too much, or look at the budget too much, especially because after I finished building I still had 11,000 simoleons left. So I wasn't really worried until by the end I reached like 23,000. And okay, for sure, if you play with this house, you have 2 bedrooms. We have one for the parents and one for the child. So even if you had a single parent, you would have at least 22,000 simoleons, which, now that I'm saying it, is definitely not enough. But I managed to make it cheaper. So the patio, which is the more detailed part, we have this nice bamboo object that came with growing together, and I used it. I sized it up once, and I used it as a separation from the street, because the picture in the inspo pic had this type of privacy screen, so I really liked it. And on top of the patio I put like a sitting area with a lantern and a games table on the side. I think on that table you can play whatever game you want, so it's like Don't Wake the Llama, you can play cards, you can play Sebak, I think, which is the game that came with Batu, and now the new puzzles that come with the new pack. On the side I also decided to fence in the yard, but if you have seen the thumbnail, you probably seen the fencing does not stay because I needed to save money, so I decided to have an open garden. Choices. And now we are getting onto the interior. So for the main area, the living area, I decided to keep the same wallpaper we had outside, and I wanted to go for the industrial kitchen we have in the base game, but it's very expensive. I think it's over 300 simoleons per counter, while this one was, I think, 100 simoleons cheaper. And I also wanted to use shelving, but the shelving from Island Living did not match at all with the style or the same, like the wood tone of the kitchen. So I went for these cubes from Growing Together, which, if you think about it, they are less expensive than an actual cabinet, because I think the size of a cabinet is 2 tiles, or like, 1 tile. So you need 2 cubes to make one full cabinet, and they cost 40 each. So if you use 2, you have a cabinet for 80 simoleons, and I think most of the ones in The Sims 4 cost over 100. So this is maybe a trick that I'm teaching you. It's actually cheaper. I just put some decoration on top, and very easy. I wanted to put some decoration also on the shelving in the snow escape counters, which it has been an issue for me since the launch of this pack, like this kitchen. The fact that it has open shelving and you don't have an option to clutter it. I wish they gave us like an object that was specifically tied to this thing, so you could slot it, clutter if you wanted to, but then also have it empty all the other time if you wanted a more minimalistic kitchen, or if you wanted to clutter it on your own. But that didn't happen, so I decided to go for a more minimalist route in this case, also because I was getting a little bit budget conscious. So I decided to go for empty shelving. In front we have a not a sitting area, like a dining area with a table from Harry. They came with the Sims 4 21st anniversary. And we have a plant on top from Spa Day, which I've always looked at the plant in a weird way. Like, I like it, but where does that piece of grass come from? If you zoom in, it comes out of the rocks, or like out of nothing, because it's not even attached to the rocks. So that's a little bit weird, but okay, sure. Then we have the living area, which I put the small couch from high school years, and I wanted to put initially the TV from Tiny Living because it's not cheap, sorry, that's the reason why we deleted it. It's small and also function as a library, bookcase and a stereo, and it fits well in this space, but it's over 2000 simoleons, so I don't know why they made that pack so expensive. Like, if you have a tiny home, you probably do not have so much money. Maybe they wanted to go for a gentrified version of tiny homes or like van life, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, I would love to use that item. It works so well, especially for starter homes, because you want to make them smaller so they feel fuller, but you cannot use them because they are so expensive. Like, literally, if a starter home is 20,000 simoleons, that single item takes up over 10% of your budget. So, just saying. I ended up deleting it and using debug to get the TV from Eco Lifestyle, the one that you can find in the trash. And I added just a lamp, a small coffee table on which I will eventually put the TV. I think I'm doing it right now. I think that rug is from Werewolves, and I wanted to put also an armchair, but the space was just too small. I felt it was gonna be too crowded, and also, budget. Then I placed that $1,000 computer, and I think it stays that way. And I know it's expensive, but I refuse to get that boxy black base game laptop. I hate it so much. Now, since this is a starter home and I have plenty of time before I reach the limit that I put to myself of maximum 20 minutes of video, I furnished the bathroom really quickly. Just a shower, base game shower, cheapest toilet, kind of an industrial sink, mirror from Growing Together, and hand towel from Get Together. Oh my god, why can I not speak? And here, I think, once I finish this room, which is the master bedroom, this is where I start getting a little bit more budget conscious. In this room, I put a bed from high school years, which is not super cheap, but it was the best fit for the vibe, for the cheapest price, so I had to compromise there. Oh no, actually, now I remember, I am placing the industrial loft bed, and I wanted to use it so badly because I never used that item, I think, in my building experience. I wanted to use it so badly because I felt like it was perfect. I was building an industrial cabin, but eventually it was too expensive, so I had to swap it out for something else. And we are moving to the final room of the house, which is the child's bedroom. I didn't give them so many activities, one because of budget, two because of space. We didn't have so much space, so they have only a bed, a desk where they can make friendship bracelets. I put the item from Growing Together. They have a dresser and a activity table, like the one where your child can draw and gain the creativity skill. And then on the outside, I placed a swing set and a tree house, so your Sims can have plenty of things to do outside of the house. It's a starter home, so inside there is not much to do, but we carry on and we do our best. So we have like 3 minutes left of our speed build, and I think in these 3 minutes there's just gonna be me going around and trying to make the budget work, because I haven't opened the budget tab in the corner yet. So I feel like I let my creativity flow for a while before I realized I was definitely spending too much, so I needed to cut it back. But I feel like the things that I cut back on weren't necessarily super necessary. For example, now I'm cutting the fence, I'm cutting away the railing from the stair, I'm halving the number of the wall decoration because that was very expensive, but I wanted to leave it there, of course, because it was a detail of the inspo pick anyway, so it had to be there. I made the table smaller, this I didn't remember. You know, I just went around here and there to fix and try and make the house cheaper. So I think eventually it ends up being 21,000 simoleons. So it's a little over the budget of a starter home if you were to start with a single sim, but it's just good enough if you have two sims, because you have 2,000. No, you have I think a couple hundred simoleons left, and you can work on building a bigger house. But honestly, I think it looks good as it is. If I had the chance, I would probably have put more detail, as I already said, but you know, starter homes. So I think next week we're gonna be building a bigger family home. I am a little bit undecisive because I think I want to build another community lot, but we've done so many for our Magnolia Promenade rebuild series, so I think maybe we should see some more homes. Let me know in the comments down below, definitely. But we are approaching the end of our speed build, so please, if you like this video, comment, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. It really helps the channel out. We are a small channel, but we are growing, and I'm so happy to have you all on this journey with me of renovating all the worlds in The Sims 4. Also remember to follow me on all of my social media accounts. Those will be linked down below in the description. And I will catch you all in my next speed build. Goodbye!